Hi, welcome to Take 3. How you doing? Today, March 11th, is the anniversary of Fukushima. Fukushima 311 Truth. Deception is worse than the nuclear attacks. Okay. Welcome to Fukushima 311 Truth. Let me get myself out of there. There we go. Oh! Hi. How y'all doing? Fukushima, 3 years later, actually 6 years later, the perpetrators, over there, the perpetrators and conspirators, MAGNA, USGS, IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, EU, United Nations, and the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. The crimes, psychological warfare, eco-terrorism, murder, corruption, violating human rights, criminal conspiracy, whitewashing incriminating evidence, industrial sabotage, blackmail, forgery, and the list goes on. By now you may have already found out that the official story about March 11, 2011 in Japan is not a representation of what really happened on that day. To determine what the truth is, what did happen that day, and in the aftermath, is of great importance because the lies and deception surrounding the events run so deep and reach to the highest levels in the global community. Exposing the 311 truth is vital when we want to prevent similar or even worse events. I don't know how things could get worse, but in the future. Exposing the 311 truth can also contribute to the change of the current situation in which the real perpetrators who have committed acts of war crimes against Japan and its people, not to mention the people around the world, have for now gotten away with their terror upon the world, completely unpunished, walking free. There's a lot being said. I'm sorry. My cat loves to chew on these wires. I'm going to have to just put my cat outside because I'm not going to do this a fourth time. Alright. Sorry about that. There's a lot being said and written about Fukushima on 311, certainly online. And as one may expect, not everything is true. However, the same applies to the media. I know I'm repeating myself, but sorry. Official statements by governments and world governance entities anywhere in the world, they willingly fuel the deception by spreading wrong information, which makes it very difficult to locate trusted data. Confusion is indeed a characteristic that cloaks the 311 and its resulting events. Fukushima 311 truth should not be blamed for this confusion, since we are only trying to find out and present you the facts and the truth. So what do we know so far, and what are the facts? 1. The alleged 9.0 earthquake that hit Japan on March 11, 2011 was not a 9.0 magnitude. The real and highest values of the 311 earthquake in Japan are 7.0, 6.67. The real 7.0 earthquake on March 11, 2011 can be and has already been proven based on witness accounts, official maps, charts, and specialized investigations. There never was any quote-unquote accident at Fukushima as defined in official narratives and media reporting. The entire chain of events concerns active war, sabotage, and eco-terrorism. From the earthquake that triggered the tsunami, and therefore the tsunami itself, to the exploding nuclear reactors and the spreading of disinformation, it's all part of the eco-terror, the deception, and the blackmail aimed at Japan and the rest of the world. 3. Multiple sources question the official narrative about nuclear reactor number 4 at Fukushima Daiichi. In addition to well-documented Internet investigations 1 and 2, both Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences and the German VGB PowerTech also question the official reason that is being given for the destructive and suspicious explosion in nuclear reactor number 4. Strong evidence exists of multiple Israeli connections to the whole 3/11 chain of events. The U.S.-Israeli Stuxnet virus was detected in Japan as early as July 2010. The Siemens SCADA Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, as used in Fukushima, Japan, is the original target that Stuxnet was designed to attack. The Israeli security firm Magna BSP was and still is in charge of the security at the multiple nuclear sites in Japan, including the Fukushima nuclear power plants. Their unique connections to the Israeli Mossad and Homeland Security in combination with their more than questionable or even suspicious behavior, techniques, and equipment bring up more than just one reason to assume active sabotage from their side too. Also, Israel's organized crime syndicate, or mafia, has been linked to the cleanup in Fukushima, Japan, whereby homeless people are being deployed because they are deemed disposable and expendable. 5. Evidence proves that earthquakes and tsunamis can be triggered on purpose. This evidence is not only based on former U.S. Secretary of Defense William S. Cohen's statement during a military briefing in 1997 regarding his definition of eco-terrorism, nor is this evidence based solely on the proven existence of devices such as tsunami bombs. In fact, this evidence is based on the 2 previous mentioned cases and facts, as well as on other proven cases, such as in Mexico, where a planned earthquake simulation in 2012 suddenly went live, as if the earthquake was created and delivered on demand. 6. Practices during the nuclear cleanup at Fukushima and other parts of Japan raise questions. The reasons that these questions emerge are because of the fact that at least 50,000 people have been deployed, of which at least 800 have already died. People are being threatened to keep silent about the truth regarding the cleanup. 20 major contractors such as Obayashi Corporation, Taisei Corporation, Isogo Service, Kaijima Corp., and Shimizu Corp., and 56 subcontractors are involved in the very loosely regulated cleanup efforts. A total of at least 733 companies are involved in the cleanup. The Japanese mafia, which has been linked to the Israeli mafia, including Yamaguchi Gumi, Sumiyoshi Kai, and Inagawa Kai, is involved in the decontamination of the nuclear hotspots and in the death threats towards the homeless and exploited workers. 7. Seismic signatures of documented events confirm deliberate intent. See that? Right there. Comparing the seismic charts of a nuclear test, a natural earthquake, and the 3/11 quakes reveals that man-made quakes occurred on 3/11. 8. Misrepresentation and fear-mongering do not benefit for the quest for 311 truth. Black propaganda, the spreading of fake radiation charts, and the misrepresentation of official documentation can be described as nothing but fear-mongering that is intended to further secretive agendas, deceive the public, fuel the needless hysteria, produce website traffic, boost sales of survival products. Can certain health issues be linked to the nuclear radiation caused by the Fukushima sabotage? Yes, but this is very limited and is mostly a problem for the Japanese people. Well, I'm going to amend that, okay, because we already know that the United States is covered in Fukushima radiation too. Okay, so, you know, it's the entire world. It's not just Japan. Okay, so we gotta remember that. Anyways, so it's not just a major problem for the Japanese people, it's a major problem for every people. Which is a sad fact to say the least, nevertheless. A lot of radiation occurs naturally as well, which doesn't automatically mean that everyone should not be cautious, of course. Conclusion, as you can witness yourself, the official story about the Fukushima 311 and resulting events can hardly be described as a factual account. In fact, based on our findings and the hard work by others, it is obvious that the core of the truth is in no way included in the official narrative as provided by the media, governments, and global governance entities. Based on all the provided data and evidence, the attitudes of the United Nations, the EU, the government of Israel, the government of the United States of America, Magna BSP Israel, the United States Geological Survey, the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the establishment and alternative media, and considering their practices since March 11th, 2011, whereby crucial data and evidence, not necessarily limited to the above provided facts only, has intentionally been withheld from the public, which still continues to result in the misinterpretation of the 311 events and situation in Japan. It is now at the 6-year anniversary since the sabotage, acts of war, war crimes, and eco-terrorism have occurred. More than time to bring to justice those who have created this awful situation. It is time we hold the United Nations, the EU, the government of Israel, the government of the United States, Magna BSP, the USGS, the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and the IAEA accountable for war crimes and eco-terrorism, violating of human rights, deception by whitewashing incriminating evidence, psychological warfare, murder, corruption, forgery, extortion, industrial sabotage. That sums it up. So there you have it. On this day, the anniversary of the worst catastrophic event in history, Fukushima. Truth be told, it was sabotage. And on that note, thank you for watching. Be safe. Take care. Until next time.